That will never work. The story of Netflix. Summary of Chapter 7. We were almost Cinema Center. Introduction. Freedom and responsibility. Marc Randolph wanted to create a great culture for his company. At his old company, there were many perks and bonuses, but the employees still hated it. Why? Because they were being treated like kids. He knew that a successful culture would thrive on treating people like adults. He wanted to create a culture of freedom and responsibility, where everyone is loosely coupled but tightly aligned. Inventory. Since the DVD market was still new when Randolph was about to start his company, there weren't many DVDs in stock for them to choose from. But because of the small list of titles out there, he could acquire 50 or 60 copies of each and every DVD title. Mitch Lowe decided how much copies of each to buy because he knew the market and what would be a flop and what would go big. Information. Randolph needed a way to catalog his DVDs for the search metrics. Like, if someone wanted to see all the action movies by a certain director, he needed to be able for them to find that. They only carried 926 titles, so it was challenging but feasible for the company to do it themselves. However, Randolph thought he could form a partnership with Michael Erlewine, founder of All Movie Guide. All Movie Guide had a bunch of information on different movies, and Erlewine, who was a bit of a hoarder, wanted DVDs so he could say which information was on which movies were on DVD. Randolph wanted to partner with him and give him access to DVDs in exchange for movie synopsis. Erlewine wanted complete control over the data, which was risky for Randolph, but it was the only way Erlewine would operate. Randolph hated the contract, but had to sign it because they needed the info and they didn't have time to find a better offer. Names. As launch day approached, they still needed to settle on a good name. They had a beta name, which was used for all the bank accounts, the emails, and the websites, but that wouldn't cut it. You were supposed to choose a beta name so bad that it could never be the real name of your company. Like, give us all your money at .com or we will rip you off.com. Marc Randolph chose Kibble, as in dog food. He already owned the domain name for Kibble for some reason, and their beta website was kibble.com, and you can still email him at mark@kibble.com today. Weeks before launch, Randolph called a meeting to decide on the name. They went through many different names like DirectPix, VideoPix, Flix.com, eFlix, and more. They were almost Cinema Center, but eventually they settled on Netflix. Conclusion. Randolph established a culture of freedom and responsibility for the new company. They amassed a large selection of DVDs, having 50 or 60 of every major title. He was forced into signing an unfavorable contract with Michael Erlewine to get information on those DVDs. Finally, as launch day approached, they finally settled on the company name, Netflix.